good morning and welcome. It's great to see you all here, and a very warm welcome to the 15 new members joining the Investment Catalyst Facility. We are really pleased to have you with us and excited about what this cohort represents. So just to give you all a little bit of a background, this facility was created in response to a very real gap that we kept hearing from across the sector, and especially you, our members. So the fact that you guys are facing persistent barriers to accessing the right kind of capital at the right time. The Investment Catalyst Facility is our attempt to address that. And by pushing a one-size-fits-all solution, by not doing that, we're hoping that we'll be able to support you get access to debt financing for the first time, strengthen your investment readiness, and then build more effective connections between yourselves and capital providers. So what we're going to cover today, this onboarding call is about setting the foundation for the journey that you're going to be going on. Today we'll walk through what the facility is designed to do, what you can expect from us over the coming months, and just as importantly, what we'll be asking of you to make this process as valuable and impactful as possible. What's especially exciting about this cohort is the diversity of different business models, geographies, and stages that are represented in the room. So that diversity with the GDC, as always, is a massive strength. And we hope that this facility becomes not just a source of technical support, but also a space where you can learn from each other and have honest conversations about what it really takes to raise capital and deploy it. So we see this very much as a partnership. And the more open, engaged we all are, the more useful and ultimately catalytic this experience is going to be for everyone. So with that in mind, we very much thank you for joining, and we're looking forward to the agenda. So we'll just go through the approach of the facility. We'll hand over to Amy Wafula, the program manager for this Investment Catalyst Facility. We'll take you through one of the first activities, which is the benchmarking tool. We'll also explain a bit more about the investment readiness support and what that entails, and the type of participation, as I've mentioned. Next slide, please. So today's speakers, I'm really here just to do the intro. I'll be on the call the whole time. Then I'll hand over to the experts really in this field who have done a lot of the legwork in getting this up and running. So Amy, as I've just mentioned, is the program manager for the Investment Catalyst Facility. And she's joined with Davinia Kogan, who's the Access to Finance lead at the GDC. So we're really keen to find out who is in the room. So if you haven't yet done it, would you all just take a moment to make sure that you've got your name and company in the Zoom name that you're displaying? Then what I'm going to do is give everyone a minute, each company a minute, to say your name, your role, your business, where you operate, the products you sell, and then briefly introduce your colleagues, if any, that are in the room today. So we just need one representative from each business. Now, time is really tight, and I have got a timer, so I'm going to give everyone literally a minute, and I will cut in when that minute has begun. So have we got anyone from Solar Move Africa in the room? I can't see at the minute the way my Solar Move Africa.
Hi everybody, thank you for this opportunity that you've given us. I'm Luke Chone, the CEO for Solar Move Africa, and in the meeting I'm with two colleagues, that is Mary Katebe, who is our financial manager, and Suwilanju is our administrator as well. So we're distributing solar irrigation pumps to the smallholder farmers, basically in the Copper Belt but across Zambia as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Luke. That was super speedy, only 20 seconds. Nice to have your team with us as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Have we got anyone from Integrated Water and Energy Technologies Limited?
Yes. So I am Mwanangwa Mhone, the Director of Integrated Water and Energy Technologies. This is a company based in Malawi. Particularly, we are in city center in Tama House. So we do provide a range of renewable energy products from solar home systems, as well as also solar water pumping systems. So our focus is the rural communities where they do not have access to such. I will be joined by my colleague. Of course, she's not yet here, but at some point she will be joining, Angela Mbwana. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much as well. Glad to have you on the cohort. So next on my list is Vinjay Green Innovations. Have I said that right, Vinjay? Vinjay?
Yes, so that's Vinjay.
Okay.
Yeah. So my name is Geoffrey. I'm the founder and CEO of Vinjay Innovations. We are based here in Malawi, Area 47. Basically, what we do is we are selling solar home systems, particularly to rural communities. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Smart Solutions or Invertech Solar.
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Daniel Misengo from DRC. I'm director at Innovatech Solar. Innovatech Solar is a DRC is a company based in DRC. We are in solar home system. We also sell solar pumps. To the in DRC there is a water problem, so people get water from the borehole, and solar pumps are very used in DRC. Yeah, so this is what we are doing in DRC, and we appreciate DDC for the opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you for joining us today. Recapo Solar Systems Limited. We got anyone from Recapo?
Thanks. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you, Jessica. So my name is Dumisani Njovu, and I'm the managing director for Recapo Solar Systems. So how to pronounce the name is Recapo Solar Systems. We're based in Malawi. Basically, what we do is distributing solar home systems as well as productive use of energy solutions in irrigation, cooking. Maybe very soon, of course, we might be venturing into e-mobility. On this call, I have two colleagues of ours. We have a project manager, Felix Chikomo, and we have the accountant and credit control officer, Miracle Kamoa. Thanks so much.
Great, thanks. Next up is Vampo Global Synergy.
All right, good afternoon, Jessica. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, my name is Queenette. I'm the talent manager at Vampo Global Synergy. Our brand name is Solarity. In Solarity, we are into solar home systems and productive use. So here on the training program, I'll be having with me my colleagues Aisha, Miss Tura, and we'll be two in this program. Thank you so much for the opportunity. We cannot wait to to participate fully on this program. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Next up, we've got Huderas Community Empowerment for Development. Have we got anyone from Huderas? Hello.
Yes, hello. I'm Stuart Martin, a business development manager of Huderas. Huderas means Human Development and Relief Services. We are dealing with the solar irrigation pumps. We are located in Tanzania, Karagwe district, Kagera region, and we are supplying solar water pumps to rural farmers. Here I'm with my colleague, Mr. Derek Katunzi, a managing director of Huderas, together with Mr. Elisha Chawala, agricultural specialist based in irrigation. Thank you.
Thank you. Agripa Enterprises, please.
Yes, thank you, Jessica. Hello, everyone. My name is Rutendo Faith Mapisa from Agriput Enterprises in Zimbabwe. And at Agriput Enterprises, we are distributing solar home systems, including the 3 kVA, 5 kVA, 10 kVA, and so forth. And we are also doing solar-powered refrigerators and freezers for those farmers that are into livestock production. We also distribute solar generators. So that's about Agriput Enterprises, and it's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thanks, Faith. Nice to see you again. Have we got Landforce Energy?
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Judith Marera. I'm the founder and CEO for Landforce Energy, and we do biogas and solar home systems in Zimbabwe. With me on the call is our head for biogas, Gladys Mumure, and our head for solar, Flika Maseko. It's nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Judith. Nyalo Impact?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be here. I am Award Dorothy Otieno, the CEO and founder of Nyalore Impact, a social enterprise based in Homa Bay, Kenya. We are addressing access to clean cooking and clean energy solutions. We have been working with the households, but now we are expanding to institutions. Thank you so much for the opportunity and hope to learn together with everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, Dorothy. Next up, we've got Namuleri Energy Limited.
Thank you,
Namuleri?
Jessica. Thank you, Jessica. Gift Mwase. I am the CEO of Namuleri Energy. I am with my colleagues, Cedric Banda, our operations manager, but also Timothy Malonda, our finance and admin manager in this call. Namuleri Energy is a clean energy company based in Malawi. We are into solar home systems, but also productive use of energy like water pumps, and also a few other things, but we are also a clean cooking company. So we are very excited to be here. We look forward to interacting and learning from others. Thank you.
Thanks, Gift. Just a couple more companies left. So we've got Eco Energy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nelson Poliswa. I am the Chief Executive Officer for Eco Energy Liberia. And I'm joined by my colleague James Moore, who happen to be our finance officer. So we're currently based in Liberia, where a youth-led startup company that operates a range of products ranging from solar home systems to solar water pump systems, and also solar sewing machines for women entrepreneurs in the rural communities. So it's indeed a pleasure to join you all, and we look forward to the wonderful days ahead. Thank you, and over.
That's awesome. And last but not least, Megawatt Engineer. Anyone from Megawatt on the call? So it looks like we potentially have the full cohort except Megawatt Energies. Sorry, Megawatt Engineer. Okay, well, if they come online, maybe we can introduce them in a bit. So I'm going to pass over to my colleagues now. So next slide, please.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. My name is Pius, conductor from Teenage. Somehow we didn't hear on the name of the company being.
Oh yes, sorry. Because on my list, you were merged with another company. Sorry, Pius. Please do go ahead.
Okay.
I
Well,
can
my name
see
is
you
Pius.
now.
It's okay. That's fine. My name is Pius Kandede, from Malawi. Um, we are Teenage, which means tomorrow energy. We are operating in the northern part of Malawi. We sell also solar home systems to Lulu and remote households in Malawi. Thank you. That's thank you.
Thanks, Pius. And apologies that we missed you off. Thanks for speaking up.
Yeah, totally fine. Thanks.
Okay. Can we move to the next slide, please?
I think also Fidelis has mentioned in the chat that Sun Plugged Energy is also here. I'm not sure if we also missed them.
I think that was Pius that just spoke, is it not? Is there anyone else on the call that we haven't had a chance to do an introduction? Fidelis. Okay, great. Sorry, Fidelis.
No, that's all right. My name is Fidelis. I'm the founder and CEO of Sunplugged Energy. We're a clean energy fintech operating out of Zimbabwe. We focus on powering critical infrastructure like base stations, power stations like gas stations and service stations. We also do residential powering where we operate a pay-as-you-go model on kilowatt rated systems from 5 kilowatt systems to about 30 kilowatt systems. It's good to be here.
Thanks, Fidelis. Anybody else that I've missed off? I'll hand over to Davinia then.
Great. Thanks, Jessica. So I'm just going to give a broad overview of how the Investment Catalyst Facility works. This is pretty high level. We'll also share this as like a PDF document after today, and you'll see in the appendix that there's a more detailed timeline that sort of shows you almost month by month or quarter by quarter how different activities will play out. Just up front, I want to say that this is a very fast program. There's like a lot, I guess, to get done in a really short period of time. So it means that we'll have to, yeah, I guess like keep moving through the activities pretty quickly so that we reach the point that hopefully some of you will be able to reach financial close later this year, and we still will have time to be able to deploy the support in the way that we want to. So if we just jump to the next slide. Also, I should say that I'm the GDC Access to Finance lead, and I know that there's some companies here that I know really well and others that are new. I've just had 4 months of maternity leave and I just got back on Monday. So I've just kind of dived right into this. So yeah, really nice to see familiar faces, but also welcome to some of, yeah, the new people that I've not seen before. And you should be really like patting yourself on the back that, you know, you were chosen. We had 65 applicants to this. It was quite competitive, very strong applications, and we've chosen 15 companies that we think are, you know, can really get into a position to raise debt over the next 9 months or so. So the way we're going to work is the first phase will focus on our benchmarking tool and GDC providing investment readiness support. So what does that look like? That will be delivered to all 15 companies that are here today. There'll be 3 components. So the first one, which my colleague Amy will take you through today, is our benchmarking tool. So it'll be really important for you to take a look at how your business is stacking up across these different KPIs that we use to, you know, sort of see where are things moving really well, where is there room for improvement. In addition to this, the GDC team will be providing some tailored one-on-one support, which will kick off once you have completed the benchmarking tool. And then thirdly, we will be providing some small grants to companies because we often find when we're working with companies that in order to meet the prerequisites of lenders, they need to spend a bit of money. For example, they need to digitalize their financial records, they need to purchase accounting software, maybe they need to hire a bookkeeper to sort of get everything in order so you can get audited financials in the first place. So in addition to the benchmarking and the one-to-one support I've mentioned, we'll also be providing small grants averaging about 7,000 euros per company, but it can go up to 10,000 euros, and it will cover up to 50% of those investment readiness related costs, which you'll need to provide evidence for, but we'll go through those details on another occasion. The second phase is for companies, I guess, that successfully graduate that benchmarking and investment readiness phase. So you've shown engagement, you've got your audited financials, you would then move into the financial screening and possibly the due diligence support phase. So at GDC, what we'll do is we will run what we're calling a financial screening simulation. So this would be where, you know, typically a lender is going to look at your financials, they're going to look at some different metrics, they'll calculate different ratios, they'll look at sort of, you know, what size of loan you could potentially service. So we will actually do that in-house before you begin speaking to investors. So that way, we think that you'll be able to, you know, have a realistic financial ask, and you'll be in like a strong position to negotiate with investors. We'll also know which investors are more suitable given the loan servicing and financing need of the company. We don't have like a set number here, but our assumption and our hope is that half of you will be, at least half, will be invited to move into due diligence phase with an investor. Now, that's not something to be taken lightly. I think it's important to remember that due diligence costs investors money to perform. Obviously, it's a big amount of time. So really when you enter due diligence, it's a very, very promising sign. And I think, many deals would be moving towards financial close if you go beyond the financial screening. Usually companies sort of would, get sort of kicked out, I guess, during the financial screening phase if an investor is not interested. But if they are really interested in your company, you would move into the due diligence phase. And GDC would be here to provide support again, as you're dealing with that process, which for some people, it might be the first time going into a due diligence process. And for others, perhaps they've done it before. The great thing about having a cohort too is that this really is a peer learning environment. And particularly if you're in a country or you're working with a lender that one of your peers is working with, I think it's always really nice to provide that kind of support and information to your peers. And then finally, for the companies that do reach financial close, so that means that they successfully get through the due diligence phase, and the investor wants to lend you money, essentially. We would be providing catalytic co-financing, and I'll explain exactly what that means in a second. And we'll also be working with investors to try and de-risk transactions. So for the catalytic co-financing, an example that I think is quite helpful. So for example, if you took out a 50,000 euro loan to purchase inventory, the lender would provide the $50,000 as a loan, and then this catalytic co-financing would be provided by GDC up to 15,000 euros. And that could be used, I guess, where an equity investor might usually step in. So if you need to buy inventory, but you also need to buy a couple of bikes or you need to buy a truck or something like that, rather than taking out a loan to make that kind of purchase, this is where the catalytic co-financing comes in. It's sort of, capital that drives the growth of the company. And it's sort of more risk-taking capital, I guess, than what you typically get from a lender. And lenders, usually want to provide funding so you can purchase inventory, whereas our catalytic co-financing has a lot more flexibility. So that will be made available to companies that do reach that phase. So just, really encourage everybody to put their best foot forward, and try and move, as we said, pretty tight timelines. So trying to move through this work as quickly as you can. And we will share more detailed timelines with you later on. And today's session is just going to focus on benchmarking. So I'm going to hand you over to my colleague Amy now. Amy is the program manager of the Investment Catalyst facility. Over to you, Amy. And please ask questions as we go. I'll be on the chat answering any questions you have.
Thank you, Davinia, for that insightful explanation about the approach. I just noticed before I go on that Newton, I want to assume this is Newton from Megawatt, who has joined. We were giving people opportunities to introduce themselves in under 1 minute, just to say the name, the role, and a little bit about the company within a minute. So maybe you can do so we don't leave you out.
Thank you very much, Amy. My name is Newton Mogaka from Megawatt Engineering Limited. I'm happy to be here and happy to join the team. We are a solar distribution company for SHS units across Kenya. We've worked with pipeline for COSAP, USADF, among others, just to try and drive impact to the local community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Newton, for that. I think I'll just dive into the benchmarking tool, as this is the next activity that we're going to be doing within the ICF. So the benchmarking tool helps last mile distributors to be able to assess their operational performance through 23 key performance indicators. So this is basically complementary to traditional due diligence indicators, and it aims to cover key aspects of the sales and distribution business model. So across value proposition, sales and marketing, backend infrastructure, as well as overheads. So it's quite important because even as you're going to be engaging investors, they're going to be picking up weaknesses and strengths that your company has. So when you're at a place whereby you're able to show that you know your business inside out, it gives them confidence even as you engage with them. So just before I do a brief demo of this tool, I wanted to place emphasis on some key information. Next slide, please. So the first tab, as you will see, contains instructions. So please read and understand these instructions before you advance to the input tabs. And while you're inputting this data, provide accurate responses within these tabs. And we recommend that you use the latest annual data for consistency purposes because as we usually say, whatever you feed into any tool, the output is dependent on the input. So if you mix monthly, weekly, quarterly, then the output will also be distorted. So please use annual latest data. Do not fill any cell that you don't have information because sometimes then with this tool, it's enabling you to see what do you measure, what don't you measure, what can you improve, what where are you good, and to be able to help you to run a profitable business. So some inputs are only relevant to certain types of companies. So you'll find that not all KPIs would apply to your company, to your geography, maybe the model that you're using or something of the sort. So all those results will be prioritized in the output tab. Under best practice, there is good and then can be improved. So we ask you to prioritize on the can improved so that you're able to run a profitable business model. So I have included these two, a link to the guides that you are going to be sharing even in the chat here, and the publication in your individual company folders, which I will share with each of you before close of day today. So allow me to share my screen to just do a brief overview and how to fill the tool. I will sample 2 KPIs per category so that we are able to see how we can do this. So yeah. Please confirm that you're able to see.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, thank you. As I mentioned earlier, the first tab is on instructions. So please make sure that you read through these instructions because I've just done a brief overview, like a summarized highlight of what these instructions is going to cover. So I'll urge each of you to be able to read through these instructions before you now proceed. As you can see, there are other tabs down here. Hope you're able to see my cursor. I'm trying to move it. Down here, there's input 1, value proposition, input 2, sales and marketing, input 3, back-end infrastructure and overheads, and then the output. So I will sample 2 KPIs under value proposition so that you're able to see how to work around this. Yeah. So on value proposition, as you can see, each KPI has a description. So there are several KPIs under value proposition. So you're going to see a number of those. I will not scroll down so that you're able to just go through up 2 of these. So the first KPI is the net promoter score. So the net promoter score It's just a measurement of the percentage of customers who are likely to rate their likelihood to recommend the service to friends or family. So how many of these are likely to rate 9 or 10? So this is exactly what this KPI is speaking about. Under each KPI, you're going to see this indication where who does it apply to. So there are times where it's going to be specific on which company it applies to. If there is no indication, it is open to all for input. So under this, if you have the Net Promoter Score and you've already conducted it, you can come all the way and input the answer here, the direct answer. Is it 40 to 60? Is it 60 to 100? Is it 40? But if you do not know, you come down to the calculation bit and answer this question. What percentage of customers are likely to rate your service to friends or family as a 9 or 10? So in this example, I used the input because I assumed that company, this is a dummy data, just to be clear. I assume this company does not have the direct answer. So the likelihood that people will rate, I rated it as 80%. And the percentage of customers who rated 6 and below, I included as 20%. So because of that, there was a computation that was done to arrive at a Net Promoter Score of 60. So I didn't have to fill this 60. What I needed to know was who would rate 9 and above, who would rate 6 and below, as indicated below. And as you can see, there are comments per KPI, which helps you to understand what the Net Promoter Score is about. So the Net Promoter Score should be calculated based on that question. So have you asked companies that question on a scale of 0 to 10? How likely are you to recommend? If you don't have any idea, you're going to leave it blank. As I said, it's okay to leave it blank because then that is showing you that is something you can improve by now starting to measure. I hope we are clear on that aspect. I just look at the KPI too. So the second KPI too is unique selling proposition, which helps you to evaluate the competitive landscape and find out how well your company is performing relative to alternative products offered by other businesses. As indicated, if it was specific to a particular business model, it would have been selected here. But because it is not, you're supposed to go and answer this and give the direct answer. Sorry for that. Yeah, apologies. Okay, so yeah, you're supposed to give a direct answer, and it's clearly indicated. If you write one, it means you don't conduct surveys to validate your unique selling point among customers. If it's good, they say you have conducted a survey to validate your unique selling point. And if it's 3, then it means that you have conducted a survey to validate within 12 months. Oh, this one was within 12 to 24 months, and this one within 12 months. So you give your accurate response. Please kindly do not indicate something that is not truthful. Value honesty, because even if you say you've done it, then it gets to the due diligence bit, then it comes out that you have not done it. Then you lose credibility, even with the investor. So honesty is always best. So on the next input about sales and marketing, we'll look at KPI 8. As you can see, it's starting at 8 because value proposition has 7 KPIs. I'd urge you to fill in those sequentially, and I'll explain why that is quite important. So above the market line, it measures untargeted marketing costs as a percentage of revenues. This one has been indicated who it applies to. It applies only for companies selling push products. So if you have the direct answer, you will put it here under the direct answer. If you do not have the direct answer, then you come down to the calculation and answer the questions that are there. So you see the first question they're asking is about sales revenue from product sales in the same year. because you had already answered this in one of the KPIs, 1 to 7 KPIs in value proposition, there's no need to input the value of the revenue again. And that's the reason why I said, if you can answer this question sequentially, it's better. So if something was already going to be asked before, you don't have to include it again because it's speaking from a different KPI that I already inputted. So once you do that, then it's going to calculate and tell you the above market, above the line marketing, how much it's rating. Because now it's coming to 3%, it's rating under good. Okay, maybe I can go into back-end infrastructure and overhead, still the same thing, but now under back-end infrastructure and overhead, this is KPI 17, meaning the other one was KPI 8 to KPI 16. As you can see, it's asking about the product servicing rate, which is the percentage of products that are sold, products that were sold that generated a call for after-sales service. So who does it apply to is not specified, meaning you are required to answer it. Then if you have a direct answer, you put the direct answer here. If you do not have a direct answer, you come under calculation and look at what you can input. Say, for example, the number of products under warranty that required maintenance or after sales service. If you have the value, you input it here. If you have the number of products that are sold that are currently having a selling period, warranty periods, you input the value here. For this example, I did not input because I assumed, for example, the company does not have such data. And now I want us to look at the output of what exactly has happened here. Yeah, let me do that. So the outputs are actually classified according to the 3 input: value proposition, sales and marketing, as well as infrastructure and overheads. So for the first KPI under net promoter score, which was the one I did first, as you can see, it's saying the data that I entered was 60, meaning according to these benchmark values, this company falls under best practice in terms of it's actively collecting data from their customers to be able to know if they would rate their service to other people. So that is that. And then when you go to sales and marketing as well, and you look at the specific KPI that we filled, you're able to see the data, the company's data is 3%. So in the benchmark, according to the benchmark values, it falls under good, meaning there is room for improvement, but the company is doing quite well. And then lastly, on the infrastructure and overheads, I only did the first one, which was product servicing rate. You're able to see I did not input data because I assume this company does not have that kind of information. So even the output is showing it's not measured. And when it's not measured, this is something that the company can improve. As you can see, it's indicated can improve. When you have not measured anything, then it means that is something that the company can improve. Yeah, so that's it in terms of the demo. To the benchmarking tool, I would like now to continue and we do an overview of the investment readiness support and what that would look like. Yes, so we are going to use a case study in this case so that I'm able to create an understanding of the investment readiness support as Davinia has mentioned. So we are having this company, Renewso, which was founded in Kenya in 2022. They sell Pico lanterns, phone charging lights, solar home systems. They target rural households. And currently they're doing 100% cash sale, but they want to transition into credit sales. And their revenue is about $150,000 annually. And that was in 2024. So previously they raised debt from a local bank, about 50,000, and they received results-based financing 6 months ago. So they require debt for inventory, actively fundraising, and they need targeted support to digitalize their finance records. So in this case, the gap analysis, while in the ICF, was revealed that the financial management is not fully optimized. So the pre-approved costs for investment readiness support will be about ensuring that Renewsol can be able to establish financial record keeping capacity. So with the support from the ICF, they can purchase, say, Zoho books, accounting, and please note, we're not saying that you have to do Zoho. This is just an example. They can purchase Zoho books accounting, complete an online training course, hire a dedicated accountant to prep for audit, and then do an actual audit. So the total comes to around 7,900 euros. And so the maximum reimbursable amount is only 50% of this, which equates to 3,950. So but a very important thing to note is that Renewsol must provide evidence for 100% of the amount. As we said, because the reimbursement is up to 50%. So if you're using 15,000, then you need to provide evidence for 15,000 so that you can get 7,500 as reimbursement. I hope that is quite clear. So the next thing, I know a lot of you are interested in understanding quite the kind of commitment that is required for the ICF. And Davinia has also mentioned it a bit as she was introducing the approach. ICF is quite hands-on, which will require quick turnaround. And that's why we had to include the question around commitment in the application form, which a lot of you consented to. Cynthia, I think you can go to the next slide. So let's go through a few aspects that are important for active participation. The due diligence process is set to start the second week of February. This is a prerequisite for contracting. A GDC team member will reach out to you to facilitate this process. There are certain requirements that we are having for successful contracting. As the contract will include the pre-approved costs that I just mentioned for investment readiness support, that whole process will now conclude after benchmarking and identification of the support areas. So this is entirely based on how you cooperate. A company may move faster than the other because they are able to do benchmarking quickly. They are aware of the gaps and all that. So it's how you cooperate, and I'd urge each of you to cooperate so that you're able to move swiftly within the short timelines that we are having. So on contract signing, the companies now, you will receive upfront payments to facilitate procurement. So each company will have a link to a folder. This is what I said I would share before the close of business today, which where all the documentation that you're going to be working with will be availed for purpose of version control. So you're supposed to edit those documents online. Avoid downloading and sending it via email because it's easy to lose track. I'd rather you send a notification and say that you have completed the benchmarking, you have completed 1, 2, 3. So it's easier to follow up. And when I get that notification, then I'm able to just go to your specific folder and review that. There will only be 2 one-on-one sessions for this particular phase starting next week. And this is obviously, you're required to do the benchmarking first before you book time for one-on-one session. So you're going to be booking the time. There'll be a link that will be provided. It has available timings, and you're able to now book that according to your availability as well. And this phase is limited to 4 weeks. So as we are saying, we really need to fast track a lot of things. And that's why also the involvement of team members is quite important. So you're enabling also the business to continue running, and you're not just focusing on these aspects alone. So I urge you not to book consequent days. Like, for example, you book a session on Monday, then you book another one on Tuesday, because that will be quite hectic. And now you have already used your 2 one-on-ones, and yet probably you've not even progressed as you would have required. So yes, it's 4 weeks. Probably just find a way to spread those out so it's not so close. One is not close to the other. Okay, so after contracting is done, you're required to facilitate now the procurement of that investment readiness support. So if it's an audit, you're the one, or maybe you select somebody in your team to be able to oversee that and report to us on that progress. So we are able to know how exactly are you doing? Are you able to identify an accountant? Do you have the audit? Where are the audit reached? So that it's very clear that you're making progress. We also need to see some progress as we are moving on. So we will be collecting feedback through surveys, which we encourage all companies to participate in, such that you're not just focused on the program and maybe you're missing out, maybe there's something that is not working for you, maybe there's all those things. So we just want to know how are you doing, and it's quite important to understand the progress. So we will now take a few minutes. I don't know if questions have been coming in. I've not been checking the chat to see if questions are coming in.
We haven't had any questions in the chat, Amy, but it's a good opportunity, as you say, to maybe just pause. And if anyone wants to either drop something into the chat, feel free, or just feel free to unmute and ask your question directly to Amy.
Okay. Yes.
So it's Fidelis from Sunplug. You spoke of in the benchmarking tool that there's going to be, you need to put latest financials for the latest year. Are these audited financials, or say for example for the 2025 accounts are not yet audited? Do I put the 2024 details, or I put they are audited for 2025?
Yes, there is no specification on whether to use audited accounts or not, but I would urge you to use the 2025. Is it complete? Because you see, that's the most important thing. When you decide to use 2025, it's better you use complete financial records, even though the auditing bit is pending. Because yes, it is quite understandable that it's too early to have the 2025 audited.
Okay.
Is there any question? Should I take silence as I was really clear and everybody is understanding everything that is going on? Because then on my side, I am happy to hear that. Or yeah, so please, this is your opportunity to ask any question if you may have.
I think as well, it's a lot to digest. So people might need to go away, have a look at the benchmarking tool, and then we obviously will share our contact details. Plus, there'll be the WhatsApp group. So yeah, when people dive in to the tool, if you have any questions, obviously feel free to just reach out. And there'll be an opportunity at the end of this call as well to add any questions that you haven't yet got clarity on, and we will follow up with you after the call.
Thank you. Thank you, Charlotte, for that. Yeah, we'll give you the opportunity to even share those questions via email. So thank you. Thank you. So the next thing, I think, was the end. We had given a lot of time for the questions and answer bits. Can we move to the next slide? And the other one. So I just wanted to ensure that I am quite clear on the next steps. So we just did a visual presentation of what the next steps would look like. So we are having a WhatsApp group specifically for the Investment Catalyst facility, and we'd request that you join that. And my colleague will share the link in the chat. But even though you may not be able to catch that, I hope we're going to follow up as you're sharing this presentation with the relevant links. Please take some time and review available benchmarking guides. These are available on our website, the GDC website. So you're going to be able to find videos around the same tool, talking a lot about it. There's a report which was done to even explain further about the tool, and yeah, there are written guides as well. So the other thing, I'm going to be sharing company folders individually, because different companies are going to be having different folders with a bit of just clarity and instruction around it. It's going to have several folders, and everything that you're going to work on is going to be inside there. So you can also reach out if you have any question for clarity. So after that, you're able to undertake the benchmarking, because within the folder, the tool will also be provided for each and every one of you. So you're able to do the benchmarking. And then after you have completed the data input, then you can book the first one-on-one sessions so that we are able to discuss the results and understand how now the company is progressing. I think this will also be shared in the chat, but I'll also follow up with the presentation via email, so you're able to get the link to book your next meeting. So yes, I want to thank you all for taking the time to join the session, and I hope that we are having a successful engagement, so that yeah, we want to see people raise capital. That's the whole idea. Increase access to debt, so you're able to raise capital, and it's yeah, and your businesses progress, and not only do your businesses progress, but also the end consumer is also benefiting, because now you're able to provide more products for them to be able to access, probably increase the credit bit for them to be able to afford, and all that. So we will now see a poll coming on our screen, so we can be able to give feedback about this particular session. And yes, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. So please take a few minutes to take that, because it's not many questions, it's just 2 questions, so it's not overwhelming as well. So thank you so much for taking the time. And yes, congratulations, as my colleague said, for being selected into this program. We look forward to successful engagements. Yes.
Thanks, Amy. Just to add as well, for anyone who's not keeping an eye on the chat, that you can see the link to the benchmarking KPIs tool, also to our Knowledge Hub, because there are several resources relating to the benchmarking. So you can search benchmarking and browse the different resources at your leisure. We've also dropped into the chat the link to join the WhatsApp call and the link to book your slot with Amy. But don't worry, because all these links will be shared in an email after the call. So yeah, don't worry too much if you haven't managed to click through to them now. We'll share all this information again via email.